Hello, Rivermen and SPHL fans, and as always, thank you for watching the video. It is greatly appreciated. In this video, we're going to talk about the Evansville Thunderbolts and their series versus Peoria Rivermen. One game being in Peoria, the last game being in Evansville. Rivermen take both games and only allow one goal in the entire series, the two matchups. So a well-executed game by the Rivermen to get them back on track, and unfortunately the struggle bus continues for the Evansville Thunderbolts. Before we go any further, I would like to thank and shout out the Bay Indian Restaurant and Bar for making me a spokesperson of theirs. It is greatly appreciated, and it is a great place to eat and take the family and enjoy some good food, great service, great atmosphere in the downtown Peoria area, only a couple of blocks away from Carver Arena. They allow free parking before games, so go enjoy some food and save a little extra cash and leave your car in their parking lot if you're willing to walk the couple of blocks. Moving right ahead, I guess before we get into the actual games, just want to go over basically a few stats that I found interesting about the Bolts, and this is by no means trying to throw shade at them. Again, I'm just going over the stats and what the Bolts are currently going through. Rivermen have gone through similar struggles this year, so we can kind of feel your pain on that. So in a way, showing a little bit of sympathy, even though, Rivermen ain't shown really much sympathy. At the end of the day, I don't expect much sympathy to be shown for Rivermen either. Maybe if there's an injury or something, but outside of that, you can find sympathy between shit and syphilis in the dictionary. Not much is given. So, again, we'll go over some of these numbers. Currently, Rivermen are on a 3-game winning streak, 2 of them coming up against the Bolts, as the Bolts are on a 4-game losing streak, unfortunately for them. Only getting 3 goals in that 4-game stretch, being outscored by opponents 12-3. So they're being outscored by 9 goals in these 4 games. Their last win coming up against last place Birmingham Bulls, they won that game 5-1. Since then, they've been on this 4-game losing streak, and like I said, have only scored 3 goals while allowing 12 during this 4-game losing streak. They have suffered back-to-back shutout losses during this 4-game losing streak as well. Not fun to watch, I'm sure, if you're a Bolts fan. And the Bolts have only scored 1 goal in the last 3 games played. So, again, this is probably one of Bolts' worst slumps of the season. Maybe humbled them a little bit. Really, they've been struggling since losing 2 key players with Aiden Litke and Keenan Stewart. I think the Litke loss has impacted them a little more. No disrespect to Stewart. Stewart's a great player as well for him. But I think losing Litke has really affected the Thunderbolts. He really was their energy guy. And he's a skilled guy, and he's a hard-nosed player. He's a good worker. His engines are all always, revved up. Like I said, he's definitely one of their energy guys and makes this team play better. So to lose a player like Litke hurts. No, one player doesn't make a team, but you can be hurt losing an impactful player such as Litke. So I don't think it's a coincidence they've been struggling since losing him. The next couple of games for the Bolts coming up is against another rival and Quad City Storm. They travel to Quad Cities in a 2-game set, and that's a get back on track series, a very important series for Thunderbolts to get back on track. But it'll be on the road, and Quad City Storm has been playing much better as of late, especially at home. So it's still not going to be an easy matchup for Thunderbolts. They're definitely going to have to earn some wins against the Quad City Storm right now. So that's going to be a very interesting and important series for both teams. You know, Storm want to get back, you know, in contention, get a few points here. And like I said, Thunderbolts are looking to end this losing streak. So it's going to be a great series and one to watch for. Now we'll get into the statistics of the games. I'm not going to spend much time on the education game. I pretty much already covered that in a previous podcast. A shout out to Big Ben and Ty's Sports Cave podcast. They've been kind enough to have me on as a guest, a repeat guest on their podcast show, and it's greatly appreciated. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this education game, just kind of go over some quick stats and then jump into last night's game. Rivermen won that in a 2-0 shutout victory with Nick Latinovich at net. He went 22 for 22 in net, getting his shutout. Great seeing Nick get back-to-back shutouts, by the way, so shout out to Nick Latinovich. He's playing very well. The 2 goals by the Rivermen were scored by Michael McChesney and Daniel Chartrand. Michael McChesney's was a power play goal, and Corey Dennis, by the way, Michael McChesney's 13th goal on the year. Corey Dennis had the primary assist, his 6th of the season, and Alec Bear had a secondary assist, his 15th of the season. Second goal scored by Daniel Chartrand, his 2nd goal of the season, and the only primary assist went to Caden Henry. It was a tip-in goal by Daniel Chartrand. It was an education game, so played at 10:30 in the morning. Like I said in that video, Rivermen tend to play well in front of large crowds and have a good education game record, whether that's home or on the road. They always seem to play a little better during those games, even though they're at 10:30 and kind of break the routine of the season. They always seem to respond well during those games. Only 4 total penalties for both teams. Only 1 for Rivermen. Adonier got a high sticking call in the second. That was Rivermen's only penalty. And then there was 3 penalties committed by Evansville Thunderbolts. And like I said, Michael McChesney put the puck in the net on one of those to go 1 for 3 on the power play. In attendance for that education game, there was 9,211 people in attendance for that game, 4th largest in Carver's history when it comes to the Rivermen. So that was pretty cool. So with all that being said, now we'll move on to last night's game, the second game that took place in Evansville. I thought this game in Evansville was very well played. I thought, Rivermen really held their own in this game and played very well, showed great effort and executed well. They were outshot in every period but the second period. The total shots on goal was Evansville 35 and Peoria Rivermen 23. So Bolts, definitely put some pucks on net, but they can only manage to get one by Boston. That was scored by Derek Contessa. for his 6th of the season. That was Evansville only goal of the series and only goal of that game. Riverman ended up winning that game 4-1 for the total. First goal was scored by Garrett Devine, who had a hat trick in this game, a road hat trick. Only assist was by Corey Dennis, his 7th. Next goal was Derek Contessa. Then Caden Henry had a goal wiped out. I'm not going to go too much into that. I thought the refs blew that. Plain and simple, they messed up on that no goal. Rather you call it a quick whistle, which is the primary reason I'm hearing for that. But I think that's a bullcrap excuse, considering if the ref blew a quick whistle and blew the play dead, what's he doing calling a good goal? He's the one that blew the play dead, so why is he going to call a good goal? That's ridiculous. And the other reason I'm hearing, which again is a misinterpretation of the rule, is that Caden was in the crease during the goal. That is not how that rule is interpreted. The way that goes is the only way that goal is waved off is if Caden Henry makes contact with the goaltender or impedes him on making a save attempt. The goalie didn't move. It was a rebound that got away from him. Caden Henry skated through the crease and put the puck in the net. I've seen players do that multiple times and the goal stand because it should stand. That was a good goal. That was taken off the boards because the refs are incompetent. And we need, I know this is the excuse that's always given to the refs is it's a developmental league for them as well. But on something like that, that excuse don't fly with me. If you're going to take a goal off the boards, you need to be damn sure that's a no goal, especially with no reviews in the league. So refs definitely got that wrong, but it didn't matter. Caden Henry came back and got a goal anyway, the 2nd of the game for the Rivermen, his 4th of the season, with the primary assist by Dylan Massey, secondary assist by Josh Martin. Garrett Devine with his 2nd goal of the game, assisted by Caden Henry and Alec Bear. Caden Henry with the primary assist, his 2nd of the season. Alec Bear gets his 16th assist on the season, and that was a power play goal for Garrett Devine. And then Garrett Devine caps off his hat trick in the 3rd period with an unassisted goal for his 9th of the season. And shout out to Garrett Devine. He's been playing his ass off these past 3 games. I really like Garrett Devine and what I'm seeing from him. One of our better players and emerging as a leader on this team, and I love to see it. Quite a few more penalties in the books, especially in the 2nd period. There was a laundry list of them. A couple of fights. Matthew Hobbs fighting Jordan Henderson, and Adelaide Adanier fighting Cameron McPhee. Adanier and McPhee got game misconduct for 2nd altercation, which is the right call. And so, a little more action, if you will. Jack Boston started this game, only allowing 1 goal. He was 34-35 on the game. So another outstanding outing for Jack Boston as well. Both goalies right now are hot and playing great between the pipes. We have 2 number 1 goalies. That is a great problem to have. You always want to ride the hot hand, but what do you do when both goalies are hot? So I'm not always the biggest fan of rotating starts with goalies, but it's a tricky situation in this circumstance because both goalies, you can make arguments for being the number 1 goalie, and both are hot right now. So I don't envy Trudell in making that decision. currently, because right now you can't go wrong. You know? So again, that was that concluded the weekend, helped us get our 3rd win in a row and deliver Evansville their 4th loss in a row. So like I said, I like what I'm seeing from Rivermen. They're getting back on track, they're improving, and only getting better and stronger as the season goes. I think they're finally starting to trust each other a little bit more, and develop chemistry a little bit more, and starting to execute and find their game. So that's always a positive to see. My big thing with them is just consistency. Let's keep it going. We're on the right track, and we need to stay consistent with it. Let's not lose the energy. Let's keep the effort up and keep it going, because we're going to need it next series. We got a 3-game set in Peoria coming up against the Fayetteville Marksmen. Colby Muse did take a call up with the Solar Bears in the ECHL. So there's a possibility we won't be seeing Colby Muse in that series, but he could always return in time for that series. It just depends on how long Solar Bears decide to keep him. So if they decide to keep him, I don't know the name of the goalie that was signed, but I will be seeing Mason Bopit at least in 2 of those games. In a 3-game set, I mean, they're going to play the other goalie at some point, but we'll be seeing Mason Bopit. And to be honest, Rivermen have kind of had a tougher time getting the puck by Mason Bopit than they have Colby Muse. Mason Bopit has played well against the Rivermen, so it's not going to be an easy matchup. It's not like we're really getting that much of a break if you look at how specifically the Rivermen have played against Bopit. Now, our offense has been improving. We've been executing better, putting in a better effort, making better passes. So, could be a different story heading into this 3-game series. For my sake, I hope that stays true, but we'll just have to wait and find out. So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll probably come out with another video previewing the series with the Marksmen, and until then, I'll catch you at the next puck drop, and I always keep it Riverman style.